Godfather of West Coast hip hop. And like I say every week, y'all, from the West Coast to the East Coast and everything in between, folks, you're live with the Godfather of West Coast hip hop and my man, Tuesday night host, Mr. Dusty Vision. What's up with you, Dusty One?
What up, my man? How you doing over there, Winnie the Pooh?
Man, I'm still on Oklahoma time, dude. Dude, I took all the way. I
got me a little worried, man.
Man, I sit up there. I said, I'm going to eat. I need to get something to eat because my energy was looking a little low. Excuse me. I sat down in my favorite chair, and it was 5:15. Next thing I knew, it was 6:15. We here. We good.
Yes,
like
sir,
always,
yes,
somebody always calls me when I'm on the show. Hey, how you feeling, Doc?
Happens to the best of us. I see us on YouTube, but I don't see us on Facebook. Just making sure we all good all around.
I added Facebook notified me I was on.
All right. So let's see. I'm just gonna post something in the thing. All right, it's all good. We'll start. I have it recorded if anything goes foul, but
all right,
yeah, usually people start populating in the live on YouTube also. Maybe the time little thing throw them off, but it's all good. But yeah, man, let's jump right into it, man. Busy week for you. How was Oklahoma?
Oklahoma was great, man. I went down there Thursday. Hung out with Curtis Blow. We had a chance to reconnect and just kick it. It's amazing what two old school cats do. How much we have in common. Even he's from the East Coast. I'm from the West Coast. And we just kicked it, man. Talked about first hooking up, just stuff, man. It was really cool. We both got a lifetime achievement awards. One for representing the East Coast, one representing the West Coast, and it was just a good night, man. Overall,
that's dope.
Yeah.
Now you've had Curtis Blow on your show before.
Yes.
Tell us about your relationship, how you guys met. Any good Curtis Blow stories? I know you interviewed him recently, but talk to us a little bit about Curtis Blow.
Me and Curtis met back in must have been like 81, 80. Yeah, he hadn't even dropped the brakes yet, and I had an idea of doing this party called the Christmas Rapping. And I called Def Jam and talked to Russell Simmons, and Russell Simmons hooked me up. I brought Curtis out. Curtis came out with his DJ, Davey DMX. We had 2 shows that night. Only one of them was really dope. We still did them. But I think of all that whole situation, when I had a little problem. I didn't have a dressing room per se. And he needed somewhere to change clothes. And I let him use my dressing room, my office. And he thought that was the coolest thing in the world. And then later on, David DMX taught DJ Yella how to scratch, and it changed West Coast hip hop forever.
Wait, say that last part again.
David DMX taught Yella how to scratch.
Tell us, how did that happen?
Because up until then, we were using Technique belt drive turntables, which that's the oldest technology known to man. And they were like $59 a piece, and you can't really scratch on these things. You can't really scratch on them. And David DMX came out here with the 1200s. We asked him, how you do that? He said, I'll show you. We took my turntables out of the DJ booth. He hooked up his turntables and his mixer. I still had a knob on my shit, okay? And he brought in the slide fader and put the wax paper under there, put a penny on the head of the needle, and this is how you do it. And then Yella, later on, by mistake, Yella showed Dre how to do it. And that was how shit jumped off, man.
Damn, no shit. Okay.
Yeah,
I feel like I've heard that story somewhere before. It could have been on here, but yeah, it's crazy. So hip hop could have definitely had a different sound, especially on the West Coast, if they never would have made that connection.
Yeah, Dre and Yella were great blenders and mixers, but we really weren't scratching yet. We didn't have the equipment. We didn't have the technology until they turned us on to because it was a song the song that really made us interested in scratching was a song on this album called AJ Scratch, and he showed us how to do it. And that's how you make that sound, and this is how you do it.
Damn.
The rest is history, Doc.
Before we talk about a few things that happened this week that we want to touch upon, how hard was it? Because now you have a computer in front of you, a laptop. You could literally produce an album overnight. But I'm specifically curious about how the sampling piece, how hard was it or easy was it to sample music back in the day?
Sampling in the beginning was very hard because there was no such thing as a sampler. When I first started doing this, there were no samplers. Okay, and then when the samplers first came out, the most you can get might have been with 3 to 5 seconds. You can grab a snippet of something and attach it to hook it to the keyboard through MIDI, and then hit it, maybe change notes or whatever the case may be. But it wasn't until the Akai S900 and the Akai SP12 S900 sampler and the SP12 12 and 1200 to be able to actually sample a loop and make it a part of a record. Okay, and that's when sampling got popular. They actually had the SP12, the S900, the S1000 sampler that just was a straight sampler that gave you like a minute or something like that of samples that you can actually use. But the SP1200 was what made it actually where you could program a sample and just make it into a loop, because that's the same thing they did with beats, and it changed the whole game.
Damn. How technology has came along even since then.
Come on, man. Come on.
Crazy. Well, let's talk about a big story that happened this week. Before this person, there was a situation just the night before. I was talking to my little brother about it, where a popular up-and-coming comedian and 3 other people were found dead, and it was all connected to fentanyl-laced cocaine. Wake up the next day, within 24 hours, a very popular actor who I'm sure a lot of people know, Michael K. Williams. You know him from his infamous scar down his face. I mean, he's a very, if you saw him, you know who he is. Well, he was found dead, and even though it's not 100% confirmed that it was an overdose, there was a powdery substance next to him, and a lot of people are pointing to fentanyl as well. Seems like fentanyl is the new thing that's taking out a lot of people.
Fentanyl and bullets killing both black folks and a whole bunch of stuff, man.
Lonzo, I heard someone say this, and not to cut you off because I want you to continue, but someone said that that fentanyl is the new crack. The government has something behind it.
I ain't gonna buy that one. I can't buy that one. Fentanyl might be I don't know much about it, but I know it's supposed to be a pain reliever, and it don't take a whole lot of it for you to get high, and it don't take a whole lot of it to kill you. It's a thin line between high and dead, okay? And for whatever reason, people want to walk that line. I don't understand it. It might be a cut thing, but it reminds me of the latest episode of Power Book, Raising Cain. Because in this last episode of Raising Cain, Power Book 3, they got some crack that's killing people, and it's just amazing that it all happened the same week. Okay, wow. In this week episode, they had some stuff, some supercut, and Kanan, the character, which is supposed to be 50 Cent, mixes up. He cooks up this crack and takes it to the streets, and this shit is killing people like a son of a gun. And same week, you have all these deaths due to fentanyl-laced cocaine. It's just very coincidental, dude. Yeah,
and I'm thinking from the drug dealer's perspective, like, why do you want to kill off your clientele? Isn't the point to have them come back 3, 4, 5 times a day, not kill them, the first time they buy from you?
Well, it might be one of the things, whereas maybe the fentanyl adds to the potency of whatever drug you're using. And you think you're going to make some bomb-ass, like I said, it's a thin line between bomb-ass high and casket. And that's basically what you're dealing with. But it's not something we play with. They say a small or minute amount of fentanyl will take you out of here.
Yeah. Have you seen the video? And if you guys haven't seen it, check it out on YouTube. Just type in cop on fentanyl. There's a video of a cop standing like several feet away from a very small amount of fentanyl, and you could overhear his partner saying, "Hey, dude, you're a little too close to that." And as soon as he said that, keep in mind he's several feet away, and as soon as he said that, the dude started having convulsions and damn near almost died. I don't know if he ended up dying, but he almost died from inhaling just a small amount of fentanyl where he was several feet away from.
That's some bad shit, man. Ain't that what Prince died from too?
Yeah. A lot of rappers have passed from it. Yeah, they buy pills from random people at shows, and next thing you know, they're dead.
Yeah. So no, it ain't no joke, man. It ain't no joke at all, Doc. It ain't no joke at all. So I don't have much to say about it, but I know I was a Michael K. Williams fan. I subscribed to the Wire on YouTube, the Wire fan club on YouTube, and I was watching some of his videos over the weekend, man. Just sitting in my hotel room, just watching some of his videos because they'll play different clips of from the Wire on YouTube. And some of my favorite clips include him. Okay, even the fact the one when he got killed, man. I didn't realize I saw it, and it was tripped me out because Lil Kennard killed him. I'm like, I forgot all about that. He's standing there buying a pack of cigarettes before he can say soft pack. He got two in the head by Lil Kennard, Lil Buster. So it's just really sad to see a brother with that much talent, man, out of here, especially behind drugs, man. Yeah, especially behind drugs. That's the part that's really that's the part that's really sad, man. He didn't have to go nowhere. He didn't have no disease. What rumor has it? Allegedly he did have a drug problem. He was even said before he was getting high when he was doing the Wire. He had a cocaine problem then, but it didn't affect his job. Maybe that's I don't know. I can't speculate, dude. I can't speculate, man. I just feel sorry for his family. Did you know his sister, the city councilman of Compton?
Did not know that.
His sister, Michelle Chambers, that's the blood sister, not no play sister, no play cousin stuff. His blood sister is the city councilman, first district for Compton. I met her, talked to her. She's the one that told me that when she did it. When she did her campaign, he did commercials for her. And I'm like, how did you get Michael K. Williams to do your commercial? That's my brother. Wow. On my Facebook page, there's pictures of her and him together, and folks are giving condolences to her for his passing.
Yeah. Walter Houston says, come on, man, give us some N.W.A. stories, some of the good ones. Relax, man. We're not all about N.W.A. stories. We will touch on some Eazy-E and stuff like that. Relax, smoke one. He said he's smoking on that shit. Enjoy yourself. Hopefully it's not fentanyl. Hopefully it's weed. But let's take it back a little bit, Lonzo, because I know you've talked about this. It's not something that you brag about, but you did dabble in cocaine back in the day, as did many people in the 70s and 80s. But can you explain to everyone, first of all, how it was a gentleman's drug, and it was much purer up until maybe 82, 83 before they started cutting, or maybe I have my years off, correct me if I'm wrong, but when they started cutting it and chopping it, and it didn't taste and smell that it did back in 1979. Explain the whole transition.
Well, it was funny, man, because here's Lonzo. I'm about 20 years old in the 70s. Yes, I'm 20 years old in the 70s. And you hear about this drug on the news. Walter Cronkite, Jerry Dunphy, all these big time news, the new party drug that's sweeping the clubs of New York. Cocaine is considered the champagne high of drugs. It's considered the gentleman's high. I'm like, what? And only for the elite. It's only for the elite. So as soon as I got me some money, I want to be part of the elite, okay? And I first ran into it. I first got introduced to it when I was DJing for a pimp. And the party was not a big success. And he said, he gave me $100 cash. He said, hey, man, take this right here, and you get the rest of your money, okay? What is this? I didn't want to play. I didn't want to look stupid. So, okay, cool. So I'm 19. I don't really know what's going on. I give it to my cousin. My cousin said, man, where you get this from? I said, man, this dude gave it to me last night because of the party and blah, blah, blah. And I didn't have all my money. So he told me what it was. So we tried it, and I didn't really get it. I didn't really get it. And then we sold it and got my money, okay? Another one of my cousins like, hey, man, I take all of that. He gave me $200. It was an 8-ball. So it was worth $350, but I got my $200. I was happy. And it was a few years later, man, I ran into it again, and I started seeing all these it was like it was being promoted, dude. It was like it was being promoted on the news. I swear, man. It was my curiosity came from the news because they show people partying and doing this thing. They show the album and they getting down and they doing the disco thing. It's the disco era. Disco era was all about love, having a good time, and getting high as you wanted to. Okay, and it was a whole different era, and it just piqued my curiosity. And this is why I say that the media promotes whatever they want us to deal with or try. Okay, this was on the news. Okay, wasn't no commercials on Channel 7. It was a news special about cocaine, the champagne drug of the 70s. And as soon as I started making a little bit of money, I had to. That was my Gucci bag. Okay, I didn't smoke weed. I stopped smoking weed. I didn't smoke weed, man. I go to the bathroom, do it one-on-one. My partners, we do it. We be in the club doing shit, man. And it just was a different era. And when I started learning the different qualities of it, it was cocaine is not really white. It's like a beige color, and it's the raw stuff smells like cat piss. Okay, and my friend, I ran across him. I realized what he was talking about, and I'm not gonna sit here and promote it because I can't do that because I'm a grown ass man. But I tell you what, you couldn't point it on me right now if you wanted to. It was fun. I remember when I made up my mind to stop because one night my heart felt like it was going to jump out my chest. And I don't know if it was some bad shit or it was some good shit or what, but I just refused to have them find me dead high on that shit. I just couldn't do that to myself. And that's the part. That's one of the things that I think about Michael K. Williams. That's going to be one of the things that people, he's known for the scar, being Omar, being Chalky White, but he also died for drug overdose. And I never wanted to go out like that, man. I always felt I had too much to offer to go out on that. No disrespect to nobody who did, but that's just something I just chose. I didn't want that to be part of my legacy. I tell the stories not as just as because I'm a 100 type of cat. I'm not going to tell you what you should and should not do. I'll tell you what I did, so you can make your choices based on my mistakes sometimes. So it is what it is.
Yeah, man. And you're already a hype, active dude. I couldn't imagine you. I couldn't imagine you on cocaine.
Dude, I can't drink coffee. I can't drink coffee. I drink coffee, you can't understand the word I'm saying, man. You can't understand the word I'm saying.
Yeah, man. Well, let's take it back. We have a few questions that we haven't been able to answer over the last couple of weeks. And this is one specifically that I wanted to run by you. Greg Mack mentioned you in an interview, and he said, quote, "You are the reason K-Day was successful." That's a pretty big statement coming from one of the greatest radio DJs in, hip hop history. Why do you think he said that?
Man, when Greg came to California, I was one of the first cats he met. And I was doing dances at Dudos. I just set the Eve After Dark down, and I was just starting to do dances at Dudos. Greg had never seen what we were doing at Dudos as far as putting kids in rooms, buying airtime, hanging posters. And I schooled him on a lot of different things, on where to go in the hood, because he was from Texas. Where to go in the hood, where to hang posters at, where to promote at, where to do things at. But I think Greg watched me evolve from being a club promoter to being a record producer, and everybody followed everything. At one point in time, whatever I did, whatever I was a part of, it seemed like everybody else followed shortly behind me. Okay, and I was doing clubs. It was me and Uncle Jam's Army started doing their thing. As I started doing records, Egypt did a record before I did, but I was doing bootlegs first. The Egypt did legitimate record, and it was like I was always kind of paving the way for the next move in the streets of LA and bringing Run DMC to LA. And then Greg and I we made a lot of money together, dude. We did a lot of stuff together. We did a lot of stuff together. I mean, I was easy to work. I've always been easy to work with, tried to be. And Greg was lazy, so it was no big deal. Hey man, he goes to records. We did the mixes for K-Day. We were the first. We weren't the mix masters, but we did the first traffic jam for K-Day. We set the tone for traffic jams. Dre and the others set the tone for traffic jams. Yep. We were doing Dudos on Friday nights We had records on the radio. So we were doing all kinds of stuff, man. It wasn't just one thing that we did as the record crew that set us apart from everybody else. We had the streets, the airwaves, and we always kept a venue with bodies in there. So if you had an artist you wanted to bring to town, take him to Lonzo, Skateland, Doodles, whatever the case may be, and you can get your promotional groove on. And I think that's what separated us from a lot of, Uncle Jam Zombie more than anything, because we had a spot every week. They had a much bigger venue. They had a sports arena 3 times, okay? But we did the Eve After Dark or Doodles, Skateland, 6 times, 5 times a month, 4 times a month. And at one point we were doing Doodles and Skateland back to back. So we had frequency was the thing that frequency and consistency was the key to our success. And I think that's what Greg liked about us more, because we kept things popping.
Damn. And would you say the same about him, that West Coast hip hop wouldn't be the same without Greg Mack?
Oh, by no means. Greg he opened the radio arms to everybody, East Coast and West Coast. And at one point in time, some of the cats on the West Coast got a little pissed at him because East Coast wasn't playing us, okay? WBLS wasn't playing a lot of our records, but K-Day was playing everything. And at some point in time, Record Crew was able to break that barrier with Lovers and Turn Off the Lights. And I was able to go to WBLS and kick it with Willie Williams. So once they broke that barrier, it's just that at that time, the stuff that we were doing in New York and LA was not New York type of material. But when New York came out hard all the time, we was always about to get our groove on, okay? And until we started doing Lovers and Turn Off the Lights, those are the kind of songs that they gravitated toward. They felt we were kind of bubblegum, and Greg gave everybody a shot though, so it made a big impact overall.
Damn. And a little behind the scenes thing real quick before we move on. Remember I texted you and I asked if you knew a gentleman by the name of Lee Marshall, also known as King News. So I did a little more research on this because I really wanted this guy on my show. And I say wanted because unfortunately he passed away about 7 years ago, which I did not know. But he was, and I'm curious if you remember this, Lonzo, because this fascinates me. But he was a dude who did a segment on K-Day, on Greg Mack's show. And what he would do is he would talk about the gang violence that was going on in the street. He would literally say, last night on Crenshaw, he said his opening line was, "I'm King News and I'm here with the truth. Last night on Crenshaw Boulevard, a little girl was shot because this hood shot at that hood." And he was literally naming neighborhoods and things like that. Doesn't ring a bell, huh?
Nah, man.
Yeah, LA Times did a big article on him. I got a lot of information from LA Times from 1990 where they did a huge article on him. So I was just curious if you even knew about him.
I may have heard of him, but at that time I was still on the road a lot, so I missed a lot of stuff. I know there was one dude on K-Day named John London. John
London, the house party.
John London, the house party.
Mm-hmm.
They had a little thing, had a skit they would do called Little Crackhead.
I remember. Didn't they get some flack for that one time?
They called major flack behind Little Crackhead. Mm-hmm. Oh man, Little Crackhead. It was funny. But it was straight stereotypical white boy clowning black folks, and man, they came.
And this was a white guy. We got to let everybody know John London is a white dude. John London was
a white dude, and I remember Omar Bradley. He was a mayor of Compton at the time, and he was like, "Oh hell!" And see, this is the difference, man. This is the difference in back then and today. Back then, a black man would step up and say something. Didn't give a damn if it was a white man, white radio, whatever the case may be. They would say something, or they felt something was derogatory, being offensive to their community. Okay, Omar Bradley, the mayor of Compton, stood up to K-Day and John London, and they pulled Little Crackhead off the air. Okay, bam, done deal. Okay, done deal. So I mean, there was a different time, dude, and there's certain things just would not fly. And it was the same way we felt. Somebody asked about that in the chat room about me and the N.W.A. thing about how I was in Oklahoma. They asked about this Oklahoma about about the meeting we had with Jerry Heller about him managing Eazy-E, and Jerry worked with all of us, but he was starting to gravitate towards Eazy-E. And we said we saw we saw the direct effects of what they were talking about every day. Jerry Heller lived in Woodland Hills, okay? I live in the same house. I've been there for 30-something years. So when I leave out my house and I pass by the streets and I see cops out there or dead bodies or the sheet, or you hear about people being found in the dumpsters and in the lake at Magic Johnson Park, which is over in Compton by Eve After Dark. I mean, during that time, man, that shit was rampant, man. That was rampant. So decisions had to be made, and we took a stand. That's basically what it was. We just took a stand as some grown men and women from the hood. We said, "No, you gotta make a choice, dude. You made your choice. We made ours. So ain't nobody mad at nobody." And it's just it was that kind of time, man. Because we, especially we were still dealing with Chuck D and Public Enemy.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like it wasn't all gangster. It was like, nah, man, we still with the red, black, and the green. But now here come these other cats talking about B's and H's. They starting to come up, and we are the reason why they're coming up. And it's like, come on, man, we fighting two sides. We fighting ourselves on two sides of the spectrum. We're gonna be revolutionaries or we're gonna be tricks, and we chose to be tricks.
Woo! That's why you don't have 500,000 subscribers right there.
That's why you got 500,000 subscribers right there. We chose to be tricks.
But it's straight facts, man, straight facts. And that's why people come here. Thank you guys for chat. The chat room is on fire, 37 people in the building, and it's just getting better and better. Shout out to Ray Brown, Marlon Cozy, American Nia, Charles Smith, a lot of good stuff in there. Some people are saying that if you watch, a couple people said you watch the movie Deep Cover. I remember that movie in 1992. He says it tells a story about fentanyl in 2021. I'm going to have to go back and check that out. Very, very interesting.
Okay.
Should we? I mean, we got to answer everything that says. American Nia says, factoids, Lonzo. You used to smash one of Omar Bradley's nieces?
No.
Oh, no. Okay.
No.
Maybe I'm reading that wrong. He's like, nah, bitch, don't put me on blast. No.
Dude, I can't. Here's another factoid from Lonzo. I can't recall. But only a couple of girls I dated lived in Compton.
Oh, she said she did. Oh, never mind. She said she did. Sorry. She read it. She just posted. So she said, no, I did. Oh, okay. All right. Well.
Okay. Nah. I only had a couple of girlfriends that lived in Compton. I remember. My baby mama lived in Compton. And I had another girl that lived in Compton. Other than that, all my girls was kind of scattered. I was immobile. I had different area codes.
Here's another question. Someone wants to know: did you ever know or work with Yo-Yo? Ooh, one of my childhood crushes, by the way. You know what? I know Yo-Yo, but Yo-Yo came behind me, so we know we got pictures together. We've never really had a conversation, though, man. I know her. She knows who I am. She's a little younger than I am, so we never really just kicked it. In fact, I'm looking to get her on my show. I'm looking to get her on the show, just chop it up. But I've never really had I know her older sister. I know her sister came by the club, did some things with me at the club, but I just never got a chance to really kick it with Yo-Yo. Gotcha. This is a good one right here. Do you or did you ever have a relationship with Violet Brown?
Oh, hell yeah.
Tell everybody about Violet Brown. This is the white lady, right?
Violet Brown, little bitty white lady. Okay.
Talk about Violet Brown, because she's been very important in hip-hop history, right?
Woo! Violet Brown used to be the buyer for Warehouse, okay? And when we first hit the streets, Wrecking Crew, Egyptian Lover, majors wouldn't buy it. The major chains would not buy our records. They wouldn't buy our records. We couldn't give them the billing they wanted. I think they wanted like 60-day billing or 30-day billing or something like that, and we couldn't do it. And then we got with McCullough, and he was able to press the records, but they still wouldn't buy because we're all independent labels. And in the record game, it's like, what have you done for me lately? So if you drop a record on Crew Cut, and at some point in time, that record's going to stop selling, either you're going to give me some new product or you're going to take these returns back. I can't guarantee you're going to have my money if I need to get a refund from you. So Violet Brown somehow or another talked to Warehouse and told them, you need to stop that right there and bring these independent labels in. And that's how we made most of our money, because Violet opened the door to Warehouse Records and allowed independent artists to get in the Warehouse when hip hop, when the chain stores wasn't checking for us. Most of our sales came from independent record stores, which was good for us in the beginning because it put a lot of money in our pocket. Because most of those cats paid cash, or they paid something real short term. But when it got to the warehouse situation, it changed the whole game because now warehouses all over the country, and shit, we was able to get paid.
Okay.
And Violet was the main urban buyer. I believe she was the urban buyer for warehouse. And I would remember I'd go out to her office. Right, her office wasn't too far from my house. And anything I've ever asked her to do, in fact, be on my show. She was going to be on my show a few weeks ago, and she had a death in the family, so we had to reschedule. And I just been kind of busy. I'm gonna reach out for her and bring her on the show. She's definitely, when it comes to West Coast hip hop, she is a powerhouse for us, especially when it comes to retail.
Dude, I've heard her name for 20, 25 years, and I've heard it from literally everybody from the likes of Snoop to Jadakiss to Eminem to Redman to Method Man to Trick Daddy, like literally all four corners of the United States.
Yeah. It's no dope. I mean, she's always been a quiet lady, but she carries a big stick.
Man, I can't wait. Please get that interview because I can't wait to hear how little old white lady made it through. If it's hard for you, you know what I'm saying, a black dude who knows the culture, at least how hard was it for someone who's probably outside of the culture? Well,
you know what? No, you got to understand, man, a lot of times we were talking about the same thing in Oklahoma. I did an interview in Oklahoma, and the same thing about, and one of my guys on the chat room hit me up the same way. He said, man, if Lonzo had did N.W.A., I'd have been the worst cat in the world. I'd have been the older black guy leading these young guys into gangster rap, and my whole legacy would be totally different. But because Eazy was out front, but Jerry was kind of driving the car. But Eazy, it was like you got a car, you got somebody in the front seat, but you got somebody in the back seat with all the steering wheels and stuff. So if something happened, first person they're gonna see is Eazy. But Jerry is he's the one with the connections. He got the connection with the publicists. He got the connection with the record companies. He got the connection with the promoters. And he was the one that was able to put enough distance between him and Eazy. So if something happened in the beginning, it was easy because always remember, if you see any early interviews of Jerry, I worked for Ruthless, okay? And this was way back. I worked for Ruthless. I worked for Eric, but at some point in time, they were partners. Once all the smoke cleared, and they became N.W.A. became heroes. It's like he just okay, I'm cool now. The dust is clear. The dust is clear, and all the T. Dolores Tuckers to stop running over CDs and cassettes. And now, okay, cool. I can be a part of this now. But in the beginning, it was all about the fellas. They were the ones taking the heat, but he was the one that was able to provide the people that could divert the heat, and so they wouldn't get burned.
Now, today's his birthday.
Yes.
Happy birthday to Eazy-E. I don't know how old he would be. Maybe you off the top of your head know. You know better.
He'd been Eazy-E was born in '63.
Okay, that makes so he's 15 years older than me. So I'm 43. So he'd be 58.
50. Yeah, he'd be 58. He's 5 years younger than me. So he'd be 58.
Oh, okay. I know this is kind of, corny, but, I am a fan of Eazy-E. He and N.W.A., I've told you this before, are the reason I fell in love with hip hop, period. When I heard that Boys in the Hood tape, it was a done deal. I was like, what is this? Give me more. And I was just some little corny dude living in East LA, but it was everything to me. But do you have like an annual ritual that you do, on Eazy's birthday? Like me personally, I'll pop on an album and just let it play in the background while I'm cooking. Maybe watch a documentary or today I listened to an old 92.3 The Beat interview that he did. But do you have anything that you do, or is just, what do you do to celebrate Eazy?
Well, you know what? The last few years, I just reminisce that Eazy-E, that Jerry Heller was buried on Eazy-E's birthday. That's what I do. Okay? Eazy died, Jerry died about 5-6 years ago. And I remember I couldn't go to Jerry's funeral. Everybody, where were you at? I had another good friend died was being buried the same day. Somebody I worked with, I was really, really close to, damn near family. they died, it would be their service was the same day, and it was September 7th. And I'll never forget that long as I live. Just something that it was two funerals I didn't go to that I regret I didn't make. It was Jerry Heller's and Steve Yano's. Okay. Everybody was like, "Where are you at, man? You the one, And, hey, man, I do, I don't know, man. It's just you start seeing your people that you work so closely with start to fall off, man. It's a different kind of feeling, man. It's one thing to go to a funeral with somebody that's been that's older, or that you're not really close with, but you start going to see cats, man, that you were rocking with, man. That's man, that's hard, dude. That's kind of hard, man. And here lately, dude, my phone been ringing. I lost 4 people last week just to COVID alone. I gotta go to 2 funerals in one day next week. Okay, 2 buddies, 2 tight partners, 2 of them in one day. Okay, so that's just it's life. But and I realized, remember my auntie was saying she died. She just died this year. She was 99, and she used to tell every time I saw her, she was going to a funeral. I said, "Hey Rose, every time I see you going to a funeral," she say, "Baby, when you get old, that's how you party."
That's a good grad. I love her.
When you get old, that's how you party at the funeral.
That's hard.
Like,
I love that. I love that. That's dope. Now, I don't know if you've covered this before, but did you go to Eazy-E's funeral? Why or why not?
Yeah, I did. I did go.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Me and Adrian went together, dude. Me and Adrian rolled together. And it was interesting, just to say it like that. I think
Can I ask you who were some of the people there that you saw that you didn't expect to see? You're like, oh shit, this person's here.
Mayor Compton, Omar Bradley was there. He spoke at the funeral, and I know because them and Eazy butt heads sometimes. They was cool, but they butted heads. Okay, because Compton was going through his problems, and Eazy was providing the soundtrack for the problems. Okay, and I was always butting heads. And the guy the interview I had last week that didn't come off that well, a boy out of Atlanta, he was one of the guys that was kind of helped negotiate some things between Ruthless and the city of Compton, because the white people came to Compton with a script of girls butt naked, half naked in wet t-shirts and blah, blah, blah. And they said, we can't get this to the city council. So they had to put everything on hold, go back and clean it up, and then present it to them, because, some people have a perspective of, some people just think we don't give a damn, okay? And in the streets, it may look like that, but when it comes to City Hall, they give a damn. So I can't green light a video with girls in wet t-shirts and bikinis doing a bunch of gyrating and stuff from the city, as a city father, okay? So they had to go back and change the video to make it work, so they put Lolos in there instead. So it would fly. But yeah, it was Omar was there, and he spoke at the funeral. And that's kind of surprising, because I know I had to go in a couple times and do some negotiating for Rufus to get some things done, because they wasn't checking for him. It wasn't checking for him. Dude, you making my job even more harder as a mayor. Then they named him the gangster mayor of Compton. So it just made for a hell of a situation, Doc.
R.I.P. to Eazy-E. Who knows what he'd be doing if he was here, but I'm sure it would be something great. Ray Brown says he met Eazy at a mall in 87, 88. That's dope. I'm sure you'll remember that for the rest of your life. Deuce Time says, what a coincidence that Eazy's B-Day and the day Pac got shot are the same day. One ends and one begins. Yeah. Now, this is how I would love to, actually kind of wrap it up, or talk about this for a minute, but we're coming up within the next 6 days of Tupac's death. He was shot today, like someone said, same birthday as Eazy-E. What a coincidence. But we've talked about Tupac. We talk about him once a year. Tell everybody your thoughts of Tupac, what you thought about him when you first heard him, and just your overall feelings about Tupac.
I met Tupac 2 times. One, the Paramount Studio, another one was at an event that we did. It was in Seattle, Washington. And watching Tupac, even from a distance, you ever watch the cartoon Tasmanian Devil? And it's like it was so much energy around him. That's how I was like watching Tupac. Because Tupac would be having 2 or 3 conversations at the same time, one with a girl, one with a guy, and he just had that energy, man. And just this dude got me tired just watching his ass. Okay, H.M. was his manager, so H.M. is super laid back dude, super laid back, and he was able to handle it. He had too much energy for me, you know, and but he had a lot of charisma at the same time. And when he hit the stage, that energy turned into charisma, and the whole stage just lit up. As soon as he hit the stage, it just lit up, dude. And you can't buy that. You can't teach that. You can't buy that. That's I haven't seen anybody like that in quite some time, Doc. You can't.
What made him different? What made him different to you?
What made him different to me, of all the gangsters, Cube, Dre, Snoop, he was the only one that ever showed the soft side. You know, he talked shit about women, you know, in his video and some of the music. Then he also makes songs that was dedicated to women. Okay, keep your head up, Brenda got a baby, things like that. And then he also played the sexy role, the bathtub with the jewels on in the bathtub. So you ain't never seen no so-called gangster do nothing like that. Okay. And that's what I liked about Tupac. He showed versatility. He wasn't all about just being hard, being for the fellas. He's like, hey man, I got something for you too. And that made him a lot different. That's why he's always going to be loved and respected more long after a lot of caskets. Oh man, he still got that love, man. He got love for the men and the women, not just the thugs. But he got love for the women. He wasn't a bad looking dude, and he played that role, man. That guy did like what 4 or 5 movies. He was starring in movies. Mm-hmm. He was starring in movies, and I talked to Joe Torre. When I talked to Joe Torre, he was a Tupac with him and Janet Jackson. Okay.
Oh yeah, Poetic Justice.
Poetic Justice. Thank you. And me and Joe was kicking one time about Tupac. He said, man, he was the coolest dude in the world. He just didn't take no shit. You know, he would tell people, hey man, I can't do that. I'm not doing that right there. We got to do it like this right here. And sometimes he would fall out with the directors or the writers, but once he did it his way, they said, oh, I get it now. And he said, sometimes it would just be a straight head button because he saw something in himself that they didn't see, or they wanted to do some more trick move, and then I ain't doing that. Okay, and that's what made him set him apart. I mean, this dude, he did Poetic Justice. He did Juice. Mm-hmm. He was in that movie with
Gridlock,
the cop movie where he shot Gridlock.
Gridlock Above the Rim. The cop movie with John Belushi.
Yeah,
John Belushi one.
That's ain't that Gridlock?
No, Gridlock is the one where he was a heroin addict. Gridlock was he was a heroin addict. Him and the girl and the white dude. But yes, the one with John Belushi where they were the cops. That was right before he passed, or right after, or something.
That's 5. That's 5, right? That's 5. Mm-hmm. So this dude, he was a key player out front, co-starred and starred in 5 movies. And come on, man, who else did that? I mean, Cube did it. But I mean, he and all them roles were different. I mean, he showed versatility. No disrespect to Cube, but he pretty much plays Cube in his movies. Okay,
Ricochet. That's the name of the movie.
Ricochet.
Thanks, Ray Brown.
Right. So yeah, man. He had a different. He was a true talent. He was a true talent. Gang related.
Gang related. Yeah, man. Yeah, right. There it is. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So and it's something I just thought about as I'm sitting here thinking right now. 8, Tupac, and Ice Cube all got one thing in common.
8, Tupac, and Ice Cube. Let me think. Damn, I don't got. What is it?
They're all Geminis.
Oh shit! I see. That should have been my go-to.
They're all Geminis. That should have been
my go-to.
It just dawned on me. I'm sitting there talking. All of them did movie parts. All of them did. They got a big break from music into music. I don't know why 8 didn't do more movies, but but Q and Tupac and 8, they all stepped up and they stepped into another realm of their career by doing movies. They all just happen to be Geminis.
Oh, that's crazy. And you know what? Speaking of 8, because I was a big MCA fan growing up, still is, still love listening to his music every once in a while. Music to Drive By is one of my favorite West Coast albums of all time. But what I think is so cool about today is that, you know, someone who hasn't had a hit in a long time, let's keep it real, 8 hasn't had a hit in a minute, but he could still capitalize and make money and do his thing on a podcast. And I think it's just so dope that he pretty much reinvented his whole career doing the podcast with James Steele and them.
Gangster Chronicles.
Yeah, I think that's so dope. Something in me just like, I love that people who you would have written off, you know what I'm saying, 10, 15 years ago, they're like, nah, now I'm doing my own thing.
I ain't mad at him. I ain't mad at him at all.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Let's see. What do we got here? Yeah, so Ed Eazy at Stouffer's Hotel. Checking in. What's up, everyone in the comments? Hope everyone had a great 3-day weekend. Thank you so much, Yokanan. James Belushi, that's him, not Jim Belushi.
Yeah,
Jim Belushi was from SNL, I think.
Right.
You know what? Let's wrap it up with this, Lonzo. Little grown-ass man enlightenment. A few weeks ago, we told a story. Is that your phone? Is that you or me?
Ain't me.
Oh, shit. I hear a buzzing sound.
Ain't me.
Oh, okay. It stopped. A few weeks ago, we told a story about P.J. Washington, the basketball player who dated Instagram model Brittany Renner, who left him shortly after she got pregnant. You remember the story from a few weeks back?
Right.
Yep. Well, this past weekend, he seems to be dating another Instagram model now. He's been posting up lovey-dovey on her, posting pictures on his IG, and men on social media are pretty much saying they're done with him. Look, dude, if you didn't learn the first time, I'm done with you.
Dude, you can't stop a trick from being a trick. You can't stop it. Dude, you can't stop a trick from being a trick, okay? It's I've seen it 1,000 times. I've seen it 1,000 times and twice on Sunday, man. It's just some dudes, they just got to have a certain thing. They don't get it. They don't learn their lesson, and they'll do the same thing and expecting a different result. And she pop up pregnant, I'm going to cut his balls off myself. Okay? Because, dude, if you that stupid, let them take all your money. I don't give a damn. And being a cat, being a dude that tries to mentor dudes, man, try to mentor brothers to talk to them, talk to young brothers, and you see a cat with a DUI and just get his license back, and he's finally driving, and he put up to your house, and he got a beer between his legs. You didn't learn, did you? Okay, I can't mess with you, man. I'm not wasting my time. Okay, like my boy Big Mac said today. Matthew McDaniel said today, man, I'm not wasting my time on nothing because what did he say? He said, my future is already here. I'm not wasting no time with no fools. My future's already here, man. Okay.
I'm too old for this. I'm too old. If I told you something once, let alone twice, if I really love you, I'm gonna tell you twice. Anything after that, you're on your own, player.
Well, my daddy told me that about going to jail. I said, boy, I'm gonna come get you out of jail one time. I'm get out of jail 2 times. First time, he told me, you're gonna go to jail. Huh? You're gonna go to jail. Okay. And I can see myself going to jail. You're gonna go to jail. Okay. And he says, first time I'm coming to get you, because sometimes things just happen. The second time, I'm coming to get you. Okay. Third time, you've been there twice. Okay. If you ain't learned nothing by then, you must like where you are. And I told Dre the same thing. That's why we fell out. That's why me and Dre fell out. I told him the same thing my daddy told me. Okay. I'm gonna get you out once. I got you out twice. Third time, either you don't give a damn, so why should I? Okay. And that's how folks feel. You know what I'm thinking about today, man? I was talking to a friend of mine earlier. I got a couple minutes, right?
Oh yeah, we good. Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking about the last time I had a fight. It was this fight was the most stupidest thing I've ever been a part of, and I'm just trying to help somebody. Okay, I'm at my club, the Current Fair. Club is rocking. I look over, I see a lady, she's crying. Okay, and I'm the club owner. I'm a gentleman. I'm gonna check on. Maybe is something wrong? You all right? Can I help you with something? She said, I think I see the guy that shot my son. Oh shit! I don't know what do I put the guy out? What do I do? So I'm just talking to her, and she's bawling. Okay, I think that's him. She's not sure, but I'm just let's go outside and get some air. So I'm outside talking to her, and her nephew come outside. Nigga, what you do to my auntie? What you do to my auntie? So he gets all in my face. He all up in here. Hey man, calm down. She was just crying. You make my auntie cry, nigga? I'll beat up. Dude, no, man, I'm just talking to her. So he did not understand. I was just talking to her. And for men, this had to be the most ignorant shit in the world. But as a grown man, that nigga hit my switches, man. Nigga, I stopped trying to explain to him, and he wanted to fight. And I'm like, you know what? Let's do this. So here we are in the parking lot. We outside in the parking lot. And I thought about it, but the nigga said something to me, man, that made me almost not want to fight him, but I also realized he was ignorant as hell. The nigga said, hold my teeth. Nigga took his teeth out of his mouth, said, hold my teeth, okay? So I'm sitting there like, nigga, I'm laughing, but I can't take my eyes off this fool because he got somebody holding his teeth, right? So we get to scrapping. And we scrapping for a minute. So I go to hit him, and my parking lot at the club, it was at gravel, there's some loose gravel. So I slip on my knee. My cousin sees me go down on one knee. He think I done got knocked down. He go grabs the house pistol.
Oh, yeah. I know.
He go grab the house pistol. Pow, pow. He shoot two in the air. Okay, fight over with. Homeboy still talking stuff. I'm like, I'm going back to DJ. This is ridiculous. But somebody, don't know who, called Inglewood PD. Okay? So I told my cousin, I said, man, you shot the gun, put the gun in the office in the safe. Put the gun in the office in the safe. Okay? My cousin, he out there trying to negotiate and talk, and I'm through fighting. I'm through. So I go back in the club, and I start DJing. So Inglewood PD comes to the club. I'm in the DJ booth. I told my cousin, said, Joe, put the 357 Magnum in the safe in the office. Joe don't do shit I tell him to do. Joe takes the 357 Magnum and sticks it in a phone book, and it's sitting on the counter like this.
Motherfucking Joe. God damn it, Joe.
It's sitting on the counter like this. The 357 Magnum is hanging out the phone book. Okay? Here's the phone book sitting right by me, the DJ booth, and there the gun is sitting in the phone book. It was much bigger than what it is right now. So the phone book is just bulging with 357 Magnum. Police say, were you in a fight? Oh, hell no. I had no fight. What I didn't know is when I went down on my knee, I didn't know my pants were ripped. Cop took his flashlight, looked at my pants. I had ripped my pants from my knee down to the ankle. So now he got me and my gun. We handcuffed outside my own club. I told the cop, I own the club. He looked at me like I was crazy. I told my cousin, who was not handcuffed, go get the liquor license and show the cop that my name was on their liquor license. He showed the cop the liquor license, and they still got my ass handcuffed. Now the cop is trying, so allegedly somebody got shot. And they start telling you all the lies and stuff. Somebody got shot. So they got me and my doorman handcuffed. They got the brother who I was fighting, he handcuffed. After 45 minutes, the cops finally let me and my partner go. The Negro that I was talking to, that I was fighting with, he literally talked his way into a case by fucking with the police. So I realized sometimes you just can't talk to some people, man. Mm-hmm. That's one of the situations I learned at a later date. Just walk away. You can't, because he was just a fool. He was a bona fide fool. He wanted to fight. He wanted to go to jail. And I fell for his shit. Thank God. All I lost that night was my 357 Magnum. Okay? But that was my last fight that I could recall. And I'm like, you know what? That was the stupidest shit. It was the stupidest fight I ever had in all my life. Stupidest fight I ever had in all my life. But again, if I had to let my emotions take control, because it was no reason for us to fight. I'd like, Nick, you get on my nerves. Fuck this. Let's do this. Okay? but he got his teeth back and he talked himself into jail.
And sadly, there are a lot of people in jail right now who are serving a very long time because they simply didn't walk away. So let's end it there, my man. What's you got anything coming up on Thursday?
I'm looking to interview the Force MDs, man. I talked to one of the guys last night. They were in Vegas last night doing a show with a buddy of mine, and they said they'll do the show. So I'll hook them up tomorrow with the link. And because Force MDs and Wrecking Crew were a hot show back in the day. We were like, that was like for hip hop, that was like Cameo playing what I don't know the Dramatics, because them cats they sing their ass off, and we bring in the funk, the high energy funk, and we also had a ballad too. So it made for a hell of a show, man. And we was pretty cool back in the day, man. 3 of the guys that I know of died, but one cat that I was cool with, he's still with us. So I'm looking to interview them guys on Thursday. So I'm looking to see what they're doing. So they back doing their shows, and maybe we'll be joining them on the road sometime in the near future. You never know. Yeah,
buddy. Sounds good, man. Always a pleasure, dude. Thank you so much for enlightening me every week. I really enjoy these conversations. I hope you guys in the comment section learned something. I thank you all for tuning in. Please hit that like button if you can before you go. We have 43 people in the building, 23 likes. If you guys can hit that like button real quick before you guys exit the building, it will be much appreciated. It helps the channel, and we just thank you for everything.
I see 45. Oh, man, tomorrow at 8:45, I'll be on Channel 11.
Oh, no shit.
I'll be promoting my prostate cancer.
Fox 11, right?
Fox 11, 8:45 with Michaela Pereira. I'll be on there to promote my prostate cancer walk for September 18th. So yes.
Oh hell yeah! I'm gonna try to record that. Dope. All right. Good shit, my man. Go for it.
Folks, from the West Coast to the East Coast and everything in between, folks. From Eve After Dark to Concerts in the Park, you're live with the Godfather of West Coast hip hop, none other than Lonzo, and my main man, the Dusty One, Dusty Vision. Much love for you folks. We'll see y'all next week, God willing. Peace.
Peace.